JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 18th of October 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. Now, let's jump into the charts, guys, very quickly. Nikkei 225 got a boost today from yesterday's US trading activity, the positivity that we saw in the market yesterday in the US. So yeah, great. We cleared the upper side here of this triangle, or the downside line. We cleared that one, and yep, well, we have moved towards this barrier, this 27,180. So in a way, for now, I would say I'm gonna remain on the kind of on the neutral side, maybe a little bit, or actually not so neutral, but cautiously bullish, because the thing is that I really wanted to see a stronger push above this 27,180. However, we only got a false breakout and we still remained below that barrier. So in a way, yes, there could be a follow-up continuation move higher. As I said before, that if we push above this 27,180, then my next target is the 100 and the 200-day EMAs near the 27,400 level, approximately around here. And although my arrow is drawn up until this downside line, that's my ideal scenario. But still, like I said, initially I'll aim for this area right here. Shanghai Composite, very quickly on that one. So yes, continues to hold this 3,100 territory, provided strong resistance. So in a way, if you're looking for some higher levels, then certainly a push above that this barrier is needed. If we clear this level, then yes, I'll go to the upside. But if we struggle with it, then maybe a bit of a retracement here back down could be possible. So this idea that I talked about breaking higher here worked out perfectly, and I would say now mission accomplished, because when I said before that if we break this downside line, my next target is the 21-day EMA or this 3,100 level, which we managed to reach. So boom, mission accomplished. Like I said, now let's see what we can do here next. Now, if you're looking for some downside, of course, at the moment, ideally, I would like to see it drop somewhere below this 2,987 territory. That's the inside swing high of the October 11th here, so that could be a good area. However, I do understand that we might be missing out on a bit of territory, so maybe something around here could be ideal, the 3036 zone. But again, it's not really clear, so I don't really have like a clear level for the downside, for like a clear breakout level for the downside. So at the moment, I'm keeping an eye on this upside scenario, but as I said, I need that confirmation break. Now jumping into ASX 200, so beautiful rebound here. Look at this. Of course, the positivity from the U.S. market is kind of spilled over here into the Australian session. Yeah, you can see here the index closed below this downside line taken from the high of the 26th of August. Now, what I said before, that I need to see a clear push through this area, through this downside line, in order to go higher. So yeah, at the moment, I rather stay safe than sorry, guys. But yeah, I need to see that. I need to see that confirmation break. So yes, on one hand, it's looking a little bit more on the positive side, but can we get that break? Let's wait and see, guys. For the downside, as I said before, I'm keeping an eye on the 6,610 zone in order to get a little bit more excited with the downside. Now, the German index, DAX. So yesterday, beautiful hold up here near this 12,670 territory. So, okay, that's fine. We had a good hold up. So what I said before to you guys, if you remember, I said that, well, let's wait and see here, because maybe we will get ourselves something like an ascending triangle pattern or something like that. However, looking at the cash index, we can see that we are already above this hurdle, so we are trading above it. So I would say this way, as long as we stay above it, then yeah, I'll go for that 12,936 territory right here. If we drift back down below it, then we might consider maybe a bit of a retracement to the downside. Okay, so now then, okay, sorry for going quiet there a little bit. I had to clear up my throat. So yeah, guys, basically, like I said, that's the scenario with the DAX. As I said, like if we remain above that 12,670 territory, I will continue going to the upside. Now, jumping into the U.S. session, yesterday's U.S. session actually, so NASDAQ 100. So yeah, we had a nice climb back above this 10,967 territory. So basically we remained above that psychological 11,000 mark. Okay, so that's great for the bulls. Could be great for the bulls. We are on the cash index, we are pumping further north. As we can see right now, we're currently trading at around 11,238, 39, something like that. So that means we are above Friday's high, guys. So yeah, that's great. That means that we could see a further move north here, but I'm only aiming towards this upper side of the falling channel, because around here we also have the 21-day EMA and this 11,296 barrier. So excuse me. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be aiming for at the moment, unless we start seeing a sharp reversal here, and basically if we do drop below this hurdle here, below this 11,967, then yes, I'll get a little bit more excited with the downside. So now then, in terms of the upside, like let's say larger extensions here to the upside, the short-term scenario is understood. So basically, if we stay above Friday's high, then yes, I'll continue aiming to the upside. But if we clear the upper side of the falling channel, then now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for a few more buyers. Now the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now Dow was the worst performer yesterday. It still did good, but not as good, of course, as Nasdaq and S&P. However, that's always kind of the case. It seems like you know, it seems like if either Nasdaq or Dow has to perform well, it's like it doesn't you know, always is the same way as, let's say, Nasdaq and S&P are a little bit closer to each other in terms of performance, whereas Dow, yeah, it's sometimes the best performer, sometimes it's you know, the weakest one from the. But anyway, that's always the game. Anyway, and I'm talking about not by just a little, just all the times, like by 1% or something like that. But anyway, anyway, guys, coming back to the same idea of having a range here. So I talked about this, and if you remember, when we, you know, for my previous videos, I talked about this, and I said that look, we might see a hold up here near this this barrier, this 30,454. If it provides resistance, then another decline could be possible here. I think it's time to get rid of this downside line. No longer needed, and I think that this is going to be a little bit more clear. So yeah, if you're looking for some higher levels, you still need to wait for that pop. And actually, let me just double check the cash index. Maybe we are 30,584. So we are above this barrier right now. So that's interesting. So the cash index, yes, is currently above this. So let's see how this is going to play out today. And of course, let's see how the European session is going to go through. Because if suddenly that declines, maybe it could drag the US session after itself. So yeah, be careful on that. We do have the German ZEV economic sentiment coming out today, so let's see what kind of number we get there. According to the calendar here, we have the ECB Schnabel speaking. Okay. So yeah, let's see if there's something maybe coming out of there. But in general, nothing major today. We do have the housing starts from Canada, so yeah, something to keep in mind. But yeah, guys. So and industrial production from the U.S. So yeah, let's see how that's gonna play out. But anyway, at the moment, it is yeah, it's a little bit on the quiet side from the economic calendar perspective, but again, let's see how that's going to play out all today. Now, like I said, we're currently on the cash index, we're currently trading above that 30,454. If it remains above it, I'll go further north towards that 31,277 territory. For the downside, I need to see a drop below this, well, actually now, because we've moved above this hurdle, I think I will maybe start looking at this level, this 30,167. It was an interesting level in the past. Don't get me wrong. It got violated here, but recently it got a hold up again. It got some sort of significance. So yeah, if we drift back lower, back below this 30,454, I'll keep an eye on this 30,167 level. Then, if we clear that, then we might see also maybe a drop below the 21-day EMA. DXY, the dollar index. So yeah, drifting nicely to the downside. We're still above this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 11th of August. Yeah, let's see if we can break that. I mean, at the moment, I am very careful here. It would be interesting to see if we can break this. And if we can, my next target is only up until here, the 110 territory or area around here, around this level. I have here 110.05, but like I said, let's round it up 110 zone. So the reason why I'm only aiming here, because maybe, let's say, if we break this upside line, yes, we drift lower, we find support here, and then we rebound from there, from that support zone, and then maybe we could see something building up of descending triangle pattern, something like that. So yeah, could be interesting, but let's not rush into anything. Let's see first how it's going to play out. Now jumping into gold. Gold is yeah, it's ranging now in between these two levels, let's put it this way, between the 1642 and the 1660. So yesterday we had a push higher, but then it failed and it drifted back down. So at the moment today we're seeing a push higher, but again the 1660 somehow doing its job, providing resistance. So if you're looking for some higher levels, let's put it this way, in the near term, then yes, wait for a push above that 1660 territory here, and wait for it to stay above it. If it stays, great, it increases the chances for this one to move a little bit higher. But if it falls below the 1642, now that's where it will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we'll aim then for that 1622 or the 1615 levels right here. US oil, WTI oil. So yeah, this one is still balancing above this hurdle, this 85.58. Look, I talked about this level. I said that if we drop below it and we stay below it, I'll aim for this highlighted zone, not where the arrow is drawn here. This is my kind of ideal maybe scenario, but initially I'll aim for that highlighted zone here, which is kind of roughly around, not far from that 83 territory, something like that, but we'll reassess that if we do see a move towards this highlighted zone. In terms of the upside, I need to see a push above the 90 territory, psychological 90 level, in order to go higher. Natural gas, guys. So eventually we fell below my hurdle here, the 5.30. I talked about this and I said that if we want to go lower, wait for that confirmation break. We got the break, we got to move, so we can see this one drifting further south. However, let's be a little bit more realistic and let's see if we can actually, although this area is my ideal one, the lowest point of July here near the 5.32, but I'll keep an eye on this inside swing high, which is quite interesting actually as well. The inside swing high of the 6th of July near the 5.74 area, approximately around here. So initially I'm going to aim for that, but then if that gets cleared, my next target is the lowest point of July. Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin is also quite interesting. So we're pushing. Well, yesterday there was some, activity around the crypto, but yeah, everybody was getting happy. Companies like Coinbase, Riot, those were enjoying the moment. Like it seemed everything positive. But again, looking at this picture here, I mean, I would say it's still not as positive as I would like it to be. So yeah, at the moment I'm just observing this level here that I have, where we are currently oscillating around. That's the highest point of 2017, guys. That's that first ever rally we had, this crazy rally which everybody was like, so hyped about. So we're currently kind of oscillating around that area, and to be honest, I think that all these downside lines are going to be no longer needed. They didn't really play out well, so now I think I'll just stick to some support and resistance areas. So in let's say for the downside, I would like to see a drop below this lower side of the. I wouldn't say this is like a range, or I mean, it looks like a range. However, we don't have, we're missing a few touches here. So yeah, if you want to be a little bit more on the safe side, wait for a drop below that, below the 17,567, something like that, approximately around there. That's the lowest point of June. For the upside, I would say, look, I mean, the fact that we are, the fact that some of the levels are not really working out here well, so maybe it's better to maybe keep an eye on some of the EMAs. If you do want a level, then I would say something like this. Let me just put this one on chart, bear with me. Maybe this could work out. Again, this is this is the crypto world we're talking about. I mean, it doesn't always move logically. So yeah, 20,479. I would like to see a nice good push above it in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside. Because ideally, I would like to see a push maybe towards this upper side of this potential range. Because around here we could also test the 200-day EMA. So keep that in mind. AUDJPY jumping into a few pairs. So we got a breakout. Yep, great. I talked about this, and look, I mean, I said that if we push through this barrier, this 93.55, I will go higher, and this is what we're doing right now. We're going higher, and the reason also why I said that, because we also we're now above all of the EMAs here on my daily chart, so that's great. So that means that more buyers could join in, and so my next target is the 94.77 level here. So let's see if we can reach that. For the downside, what I would like to see here now is I'm going to recycle this downside line. Always recycle, guys. And I'm going to use it this way. I'm going to put it as an upside line. So if you're looking for some lower levels, guys, wait for a break of this upside line. And look, I mean, we can even try to play it this way. So yeah, it could be an interesting one here. And yeah, if we get a break through this upside line, then yeah, I'll go to the downside. Now jumping into AUDUSD, looking at this picture here, I would say it's great. It's something that something that I was talking about before. I said that, look, if we climb back above the 0.6254 territory, somewhere around here, then maybe we could see a, a retracement to the upside. We're currently getting that. We're getting a move towards this downside line taken from the high of the 13th of September. So let's see if we can get a hold up somewhere around here. If we can, then yes, another decline could be possible towards that 0.6170. For the upside, I need to see a break of this downside line and a push up of the 0.6363 territory right there. USD CAD, guys, very quickly on this one. So, I talked about this as well. Rising veg pattern, and I said that wait for that confirmation break, because until we yesterday I was talking about this and I said that until we see the the pair trading within the pattern, the trend could still remain to the upside. So yeah, but according to all the TA rules, rising wedges are a bearish indication, and we're getting that break. Let's see if we can actually go further south. So at the moment, what I was saying before, at the moment what I'm aiming here is I'm aiming for that 21-day EMA, because I said before that if we break the lower side of the rising wedge here, then my next target is the 21-day EMA, and then we will go from there. Maybe it will end up traveling all the way here towards that 1.35 territory, somewhere around here. But at the moment, yeah, I'm aiming only for that 21-day EMA. USD CHF, so also quite interesting. I haven't looked at this one for quite a while. So look, what I said before, that if we clear the 0.9966 territory, I'll go higher towards that psychological 1 level, and we overshot that, and we got a little hold up here above. And basically now we're seeing a drift back down. So this arrow can go this way, and I think what I'm going to redraw here is I'm going to point out that this is where I was aiming for before, and we've managed to reach that. Great, good achievement. Provided strong resistance. Now we're seeing a decline. Now the question here is what we can do now. Look, I have these two upside lines here. I'm going to keep them for now, although they're both a little bit on the tentative side. But I'm going to draw this as well, because as you can see here right now, we're near this key support area, near this upside line. We fell below the 0.9966 territory, back below it, and now we're resting on this upside line. So if you're looking for some lower levels, wait for a break through this upside line. And then we could aim for that 21-day EMA. If you're looking for some higher levels, I'm not going to touch this until I see a clear break through this highlighted zone right here, which is roughly between the 1.005 and the 1.006. So, in terms of GBP USD, look, beautiful continuation move here above this upside line, taken from the low of the 26th of September. But what I said to you yesterday, I said that I need to get a nice pop above this 1.1496 territory in order to go higher. I would like to see the pair staying above that area in order to get a little bit more comfortable with further advances to the upside. The fact that the dollar right now is kind of on the weaker side a little, so it's kind of easing off a little bit. Markets are picking up, so all this is kind of playing in favor of this pair and the other one as well, which I'll pick up. Yeah, at the moment, like I said, it's quite interesting. So if you're looking for some lower levels, guys, I would say wait for a break of this upside line, but then I will only go for this level. So basically I want to see if this is not going to end up being something of a range or something like that, so something like that. Let's not rush into anything. Let's first see what's going to happen here. As long as it remains somewhere in between these two lines, I am just neutral. I'm just observing the price action. I need to see a clear pop. Euro JPY, this one's on fire, and look at this, guys, pumping higher and clearing some levels. Look, I talked about this yesterday. I said that if we stay above the 144 zone, I will go north. I will aim for that 145.64, and I have drawn my arrow until here for some reason, but probably just intuitively. And yeah, we can see that the pair is almost there, near this near the the pointy side of my arrow. Yeah, we're here. Let's see if we can continue moving higher. But at the moment, don't get me wrong, I mean, look, it had a good run, but if you're thinking now that it's finished, now we'll get a retracement of some sort, well, you probably were thinking the same thing here back at the end of May, where the pair just rallied from like roughly around 135 to all the way 145. So basically around, like, you know, 10 yen against the euro. So that's, you know, then like I said, even here when we had the from 136 to all the way to 145 or 46, also it has these huge rallies, and only then it kind of retraces. So let's put it this way: if we started off with somewhere 141 and now we're at 146, if we apply the same logic of, I call it the 10 yen logic, if we have the same 10 yen logic here, then, well, we're looking at 151, something like that. So that's why, you know, we might get a little stall here, but I'm not gonna touch the downside scenario, and I'm not gonna kind of start aiming lower or for retracement until I see maybe like it coming closer to that 150, something like that area. But at the moment, yeah, it's a one-way traffic. And finally, EURUSD, guys. So there we go. We popped above this 0.9835 level, and I talked about this, and I said that, like, if we push above that 21-day EMA and we climb above that 0.9835 level, I'll consider a larger correction here to the upside, because at the moment we're just kind of stuck here in between the lines. So that's why, yeah, if we have cleared this area, now I'm going to aim for this downside line. Let's see if we can reach that. Now, this downside line is like not maybe ideal. I mean, I was trying to capture some peaks here, but don't be surprised. I mean, if it will have to be redrawn. So I would say roughly around this 0.9955 territory. That's where the good target could be. But yeah, if you're looking for some much higher levels, maybe going back to that psychological 1 level, then, well, a break of this downside line is needed. So guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for the views, for your likes, guys. I really appreciate that. So thank you. I hope, like I said, once again, I hope you found this useful. I would like to invite you tomorrow morning for my Traders Espresso again, if you have the time. I mean, I would like to see you here. So yeah, as always, 6 o'clock GMT time, guys. Have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe. Don't overtrade. And have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.